Ladies and gentlemen, longsword analysis enthusiasts. Today I'm going to talk about the highest level longsword tournament of all time, yes, including Minsk, Socal Swordfight 2025. So here at Overanalyzing Longsword, my goal is not only to provide technical analysis on things that I think are cool, but also to make the world of high-level fencing slightly more accessible. By its nature, our sport or martial art or whatever you want to call it is not the easiest to follow. You really need to pay close attention to know when and where the top players are playing and who to look out for outside your region. As we all know, there's no overarching governing body. Anybody can do a tournament at any time. Anybody can go to any tournament pretty much. And top players are not paid to go anywhere, so it's kind of a crapshoot where they end up. So for this video, I'm going to talk about a few of the storylines that occurred within this tournament. At the end, I might do a little bit of analysis, but we'll see. But we're going to focus on the players first. So we're going to start with the URG tournament here. So it's easy for URG to be overshadowed by the Open Longsword tournament, but you really need to realize it's hard to put into perspective just how high level this tournament was. So yes, the Open tournament was higher than Minsk. It was, slightly higher. This tournament, this is way higher than the second place for URG. It's by PB 25, it's over 100 points higher than the second highest level URG tournament. So we got three fencers over 1800, we got three more over 1700, and then a bunch of 16s and 15s. And remember, by the nature of it being a tier A tournament, there's going to be a minimum, there's going to be a cutoff. So everybody you fence in this tournament in pools and in elims is going to be a difficult match. So the first storyline I want to talk about is Mina Vasarainen. So Mina has been competes in Europe. She's from Finland, and she just basically went on a rampage in 2024, winning everything except for I believe Albion Cup, which she lost in the finals to Christine Consmo. And I do want to at some point highlight their rivalry between Mina Vasarainen and Christine Consmo. So unfortunately, coming to the US, she did not have the best day. So she did make it to the elims, but ended up dropping her second match in the bracket to Maeve Walls of Lunan. The second storyline that I want to talk about is an East versus West matchup that has been a long time coming. Stevie Parker, a coach at my club, Bucks Historical Longsword in Pennsylvania, finally had a match with Rochelle DeBolt of Noble Science Academy in Nevada. Stevie has won a lot of tournaments, a lot of medals in tournaments on the East Coast, Michigan, and Ohio, and Rochelle has won a lot on the West Coast. So we've all been eager to see how well they matched up, and I'm sure they were also very eager to to participate in this match. And they finally got the opportunity to do so in the quarterfinals of the hardest tournament of all time. So what was the result? Stevie managed to win it, although unfortunately she was injured during this match, and after making it through one more match in the semifinals, was unfortunately forced to drop out of the third place match. So cool matchup there that was a long time coming. The third storyline I want to talk about here with URG is Jane Strange. So Jane got second place at the URG Tier A tournament at AG Open this year, which was another very high level tournament. She lost the final to Lindsay Mitchell, who's another very highly rated URG fencer. And in this tournament, Lindsay Mitchell, you can see, did not make it to the bracket, but they did meet in pools. So Jane got her win over Lindsay in the pool round. So not only did she go on to win the entire tournament, but she got her rematch with Lindsay and was able to win. So that's pretty cool. Jane's been working hard. She was very active pre-COVID, and post-COVID, her first tournament back was AG. So she's doing very well in the modern URG tournament scene. Okay, moving on to the Open Longsword Tournament. So this was the Jason Taylor Memorial Open Longsword Tournament. So once again, highest rated tournament of all time, right? So let's just go through and identify some of these people. So Stephen Cheney is me. I was kind of got lucky by entering this tournament at the top seed. So earlier this year, we talked about in my other video we talked about Fechtberg. So um, Anthony and Miro dropped matches there and lowered their rating. I did a different tournament. I did Clash for the Cash 2 weeks before this tournament, and I managed to beat uh, Ben Akrig there in a very good match. And he's very highly rated, so it bumped my rating up, and I ended up coming into this tournament at the number one HEMA rating spot, though that will never exist in recorded history again, unfortunately for me. Obritsky needs no introduction. I will anyway, though. He won Helsinki Longsword Open 2024, which was the largest tournament up until its time, except for Minsk. Miro Lautala had the best year, probably maybe of anybody of all time last year in 2024, won 4 gold medals, silver and a bronze at the highest level tournaments of the year, including silver at Helsinki Longsword Open, gold at Albion Cup, um, bronze at Dutch Lions Cup, which was the other big one of the year. Um, Ben Akrig, high level US fencer. So he won 5 gold medals last year, including some big ones such as Ascalon and Surfo and King's Cup. So he's, you know, well traveled within the US, but hasn't really competed internationally. We got Yannick de Smet of Belgium. So um, he's a very successful Belgian fencer. He won the Goats of War last year, beating Martin van der Aura in the finals, and he also won some tournaments in Switzerland as well. So high level fencer there. Ville Välimäki, another very successful tournament fencer from Finland, practices at the same club as Miro, has some big wins, silver medal at Blackhorns Cup last year, and some other medals as well. Martin van der Aura, another high level Belgian. So he won Dutch Lions Cup, which was either the largest or the highest level or the second highest level tournament, depending on whose PB25 rating you look at. And he also got second place at Helsinki Longsword Open this year, which I mentioned in my video about Helsinki Longsword Open. So next we have some American fencers. So Zach Showalter, he is while he hasn't competed much lately, he's a very successful fencer. He basically only loses to me, so that's cool. Sam Riles, if you look at my top 10 list from last year, very successful 2024, lots of medals. Also went over to Helsinki this year and got a gold medal in the Sabre tournament, which is very impressive. Um, I'm not going to go down this list too much further. Chandler Brown, very good West Coast. Jack Gassman, awesome fencer, was great in the pre-COVID and post-COVID era. Um, yeah. So very stacked tournament. So let's see. Let's talk about some storylines. Okay. So first, the European invasion. They came over. They brought their strongest players. Not all their strongest players, but a lot of them. Medal winners. Dutch Lions Cup. Helsinki. High level medal winners. How did the U.S. players do against them? Let's see. So we have so the highest rated U.S. players we have Sam Riles, right? We have Zach Showalter, Ben Akrig, and me. So we see right off the bat here, Sam dropped the quarterfinals to or no, this is the top eight. Dropped the top eight match to Miro. It was a close one. Miro got a strong lead. So Miro got a strong lead here, and then Sam started to claw it back. Deep hit with afterblow, shallow hit, and then finally at the end, Miro got his win at 6-6. So close match. Zach Showalter dropped his dropped his top eight match to Martin van der Aura. This was another very close match. It came down to the soft cap. Zach was in the lead, and Martin managed to score a deep hit in the cap timing, which put him in the lead and closed out the match. Bene Craig dropped his top 16 match to Ville Välimäki. So this is after winning against Jakob Doby, who was another good Finnish fencer. And finally, I dropped my semifinal match to the man himself, Antonio Olbrychski. So this score looks pretty lopsided, 8-2, and that's true. He definitely got the better of me. But maybe if you watch the match, maybe it was a little bit closer than it seems. I don't know. I don't know. Just my opinion. We'll see. So how did the Americans do overall? Well, I mean, we did lose to the top guys, right? We lost to the top level guys. So I'm gonna say, but they were all like later in the match, and we all, we made it up to that point, right? We made it to the 1900 rated guys and then lost. So I'm gonna say we're doing pretty good. I'm gonna say the top of Europe is still higher than the top of the US. But overall, I don't think we got completely, outclassed. The second storyline that I'm going to talk about, and maybe I'm a little biased in this one because I am me and I know what I was doing. I'm going to talk about the fight for the number one HEMA rating spot. So, as I said before, maybe due to a little bit of luck, I entered this tournament with the number one HEMA rating spot. But unlike other times in life, I actually get the opportunity to prove that I belong in that spot. And that all came down to this match. I was lucky enough to be on the same side of the bracket as the man himself, Antek Olbrychski. I got out of the pools um, seeded three. He came out seeded two. So we met here in this semifinal match. And this was the match. This was the match for the number one HEMA rating spot. If I win this match, I keep it. If he wins it, he takes it away. So what happened? Well, he won it. So how did this happen? Maybe I'll show some video of this match up here while I'm doing this. Maybe a little mini analysis here. So first one, I came straight out of the gate looking for a deep hit. What's the worst that can happen? I get parry posted, I get blocked, I get countered. He scores some points. Best case scenario is I get a deep target and I'm in a good place. Either way, now I'm dictating the pace of the match. So I go, he parry posts me, gets a point. Next scoring exchange. He lands a thrust on me. I was kind of looking out for this, and he got it. Lands a thrust right here, right on the upper shoulder area. And I managed to get him with an afterblow, but now he's up 3-0. Next thing that happens, signs of life from the black corner. I land a thrust on him. It was a half disengage attack on the same side. Okay, thrust in. Draw his sword to the side, thrust on the same side. I got afterblow, but I don't care. I'm on the board. It's 3-2. This is manageable. So what happens next? I get hit with a head hit, which by my body language, you can maybe tell that I didn't 100% think that it landed. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But either way, that's how it goes. So now I'm down 5-2. Now it's tough. Before it was doable. Now it's tough. But I managed to hold him off from getting any points the next couple exchanges. Then he hits me with a really awesome stop hit as I was pressing in, right? So I want to press in, get closer, make sure my point lands, press him right up against the edge. But as I'm doing that, he gets me in the arm. So I held it a little bit too long. Also, maybe learning from earlier mistakes of attacking too early. So then another couple doubles, double and afterblow. Final exchange. I go in again. This is the opposite. I probably went a little bit too early, and he got his classic Antec parry post, closing out the match, securing his spot as the #1 ranked open longsword fencer. Good job, Antec. The final storyline that I'm going to talk about in the open longsword tier A tournament, highest level tournament of all time, is the return of the Miro and Antec Clash of the Titans final match. So this happened, if we all remember, of course, this happened at Helsinki Longsword Open 2024. These two met, did an epic final, and Antec walked away the victor. Well, we've been waiting for it. It could have happened at Fechtberg, but they both lost. And finally, we get the rematch that we've all been waiting for. The destined rematch of the two main characters of the tournament, Miro Latila and Antonio Britsky. After a grueling 3 rounds, which was directed by yours truly, it was very stressful for judging that. But I'm glad that I was trusted with the responsibility of judging this match. I feel privileged to be able to do that. So a grueling three rounds, right? Best 2 out of 3. First round, Antec wins. Second round, Miro wins. Third round comes down to sudden death, 6-6. Antec gets a hit on the hand. There's a hit that looks like it might be an afterblow. What do the judges call? They're not sure. Well, rule of cool dictates that the afterblow landed. So it did. Match continues. Finally, Antec lands a beautiful leg slip, hit to the head, closing out the match in a clear and satisfying way and cementing his spot at the top of the open longsword, whatever you want to call it, the top. He's at the top. He's the best. Antec's the best. Vamir's close. He's close. He won one of the matches, right? Last one went to 6-6. This is a close match. Hopefully we get to see it again soon. Very exciting stuff. So that's all I have today with regards to storylines for this tournament. I want to thank the organizers of this event. It's a massive undertaking, massive undertaking. Over 1,000 people, I think like over 1,100 people came to this event this year. Largest by far, largest longsword tournament. Over 300 people total in all the tiers. So the logistics of running this are mind-bogglingly over, like I can't imagine it. It's over my head. It's beyond my realm of understanding. Um, I like to shout out someone who's maybe up and coming, who we should look out for. And in this, I'm not going to shout out an individual person, but a club, and that club is the San Diego Swordfighters. So that's the club that Jane Strange is coaching. So obviously she won the URG Tier A tournament, so good fencer herself. But I also throughout the weekend I saw a bunch of their fencers, and I was always impressed with what they were doing. So Tier B, Matthew Dominguez was the winner of that. He's from San Diego Sword Fighters. I didn't personally get to see that match, but it's an impressive feat, and um, everybody else who I saw from that club is doing a good job. So I would say look out for them in the future. Um, if you see one of them in your bracket, then be scared. All right, thanks for watching, and do longsword.